Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to GameStar TV2. We haven't actually left, but we're doing this for the recording. We are back with the quarterfinal match between Synergee and Team.Chaos here on the Fields of Justice being played. It's the championship, the Wellington Secondary Schools League Championship, and this is a quarterfinal matches. We'll head quickly over to Champ Select just so that you can see what has been selected. We've done a lot of talking about these champions because, of course, this is a restart of the quarterfinal match. We had players with tremendous lag issues or computers like burning on fire and people running from the room screaming. But they've remade and they are getting back into the game with exactly the same bans and picks as before. My name is Crisis, and with me again is Mendrix.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm back again. I've got a coffee. I'm happy that I got the coffee. It's really good to have the coffee. And I'm very excited to cast a game.
Yeah, it should be a good match. So what we had as the teams rolled out onto the match was, well, before we had these mass DCs that were going on, is we actually had two flashes burned down in the bottom lane for Team.Chaos, who are on the red side. So we don't think that they're going to be all, gung-ho about making sure that the game is reset to exactly the same point, because one of the players who flashed said that he had experienced lag and that was why he had to flash to get away. So we'll see how things work out. I think, Mendrix, though, that they'll probably just reset and roll out as before.
Yeah, which is completely fine in my opinion. Very definitely very good team sportsmanship there by Team Synergee to allow that to happen, because having those flashes down is definitely a big advantage in their side, and they decided just to give it up.
Well, we'll see if they get permitted to do exactly that. We'll just run through the teams very, very quickly. On the red team, we're going to have numbers Teng Minhao, I am Shinjai, Wu Ots Ots Ots, and your dad Chunj.
And on the blue side for Team Synergy, we have Gaza King as the Jax, Jungle Rumble as the Vi, Ragnar Rosano as Syndra, Requiem Ammonia in the Kog'Maw, and Yoshpik for Thresh.
Yeah, so in case you were wondering exactly how those names are, no caster is going to say 8700591156 while they're casting. So we're just going to call the Fiora numbers for the game. Teng Minhao, and we're going to call the talent Tsinjai, because we figure I am Tsinjai is probably, he wanted to be called Tsinjai, but bizarrely somebody else was called Synergee on the OCE server. and the Lucian we're actually going to call Dubstep, because that's probably what his name is.
Pretty much. It's actually, I honestly believe that is what he was going for there. The uts. So yeah, I have to think that's the case. And should we call your dad Chunj your dad, or because
hey, what about my dad? What about my dad?
Okay, all right. We can keep it your dad Chunj, okay? No worries.
So let's just talk about this match. It is a quarterfinal match. It is between Synergee, who were in the Korean League of the WSL, versus Team.Chaos, who were in the North American League of the WSL. And it's a bit of a curious kind of quarterfinal that we have, because of the fact that the Korea League is the super serious business league and the North American League was the casual league. That said, Team.Chaos finished at the top of the casual league, so they should actually be fairly competitive in this match.
Well, definitely hope so. I'm hoping for a good game here. Like sometimes even when games are not, considered to be top pro level, as long as they're evenly matched, you're in for a good show.
Yeah, that is the key, is to have not too great a differential between these two teams. Like, if you look at what's been going on with Worlds, you take, I don't know, Samsung Blue versus Kaboom, and that was on the first night, and I didn't even finish watching that match. They got to like 25 minutes and was like, oh, this is not entertaining.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty much like, and I think some of the games you had where I think it was with SK before, when they were running Gilius instead of Sven Skaren.
Yeah,
I think
painful.
It was just some of those things to watch was just like, what's going on here, guys?
Yeah.
And it's not like those, like they're like, those guys will be, I'll never be as good as those guys, but it's the fact that the other team was just that much better at that particular point in time. It
Yeah.
was just wasn't that entertaining. Though I must say, um, I was kind of happy Dark Passage wasn't doing too well. I feel kind of bad about this, but they did knock out Legacy, so
They did
I
knock
really I
out
was
OCE for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
We wanted an Australian team there, and Dark Passage got completely munched in Worlds. So who knows what would have happened if Legacy went there? It's finals is or Worlds is a different brand of game really, but people like either step up to the plate or they don't.
Yeah. I guess it could have gone two ways with Dark Passage. Either they get stomped and we get the satisfaction of seeing them get stomped, or they get all the way through the finals and we say, well, OCE got knocked out by a team that made it to the final, which didn't
Yeah,
happen.
exactly. Which either way, we would have been justifying it. It would have been a good justification for us either way in that particular regard.
So hey, we didn't do the team battle in the first loadout, and as we load straight into it, I'm gonna have to just move on over. Let's see how many do we have in each of the
There's
teams?
1, 2, 3 skins for Team.Chaos, and there is
Just two, I think.
two for Synergee. They've got the Justica Syndra and the Championship Thresh, and then down in Team.Chaos they've got Dragon Slayer Braum.
I don't know about you, but if I was super serious business about this game, maybe I would spend a little bit of money on it. Buy
At
some
one
skins,
point,
actually look professional.
I think at one point there was a really good deal on where I was able to pick up like 100 skins at about $2 or $3 each or something. So I went through and I bought that. It was because I already had a
Wow.
good fix of them, so it was
A
pretty
hundred
good.
skins at $2 or $3 each is still
Yeah.
$200 or $300.
Oh yeah, well I know people who spent like okay okay, this is where I justify it. I spend so much time playing this game. I want to give them a tip. Like I have spent so much time playing this game in comparison to every other game that I have bought. Even with spending those $300, if you spread it out amongst the amount of hours I've spent playing, it's worth it.
Wow. Well, I
That's why I
suppose
see
fair
it.
enough.
Because I'm still getting like 20 cents for the hour or something like that. Like that's just how much it is, and that's why I'm like, well, I might as well give them something back because I want them to continue producing content and making this game better.
This is true. I am 100% in agreement. So we've got our first trinket ward just getting dropped down there in the river by the red team, Team Chaos. And that is going to spot this jungle invade that's going to go on. Now, they suspect that an invade is going to happen
Yeah,
because that happened in the previous.
as you can see, there was a lot of careful pings coming out there for the Fiora walking through very brazenly into the river there, into
Numbers
the river
doesn't
bridge.
care.
She's like, nah, it's fine. Don't worry, guys. I've got my what is she leveled? Did she level her riposte? No, she hasn't leveled
Riposte.
anything yet.
It's not riposte, is it? It's riposte.
Riposte? I'm not sure.
I'm sure it's just riposte.
I'm not French. So
Somebody,
it's all
somebody
good.
in the Twitch channel, tell us how to pronounce riposte or riposte.
Oh, riposte.
Yeah, I don't think it's as fancy as that. I think it's just riposte. Riposte.
Fair enough. Here we go. The invade coming through now from Team Synergy onto the blue buff. They're doing a late invade, as you can see. Looks like
Chan uses his flash. So, Dubstep gets caught, uses his flash. This is exactly what happened in the start, except in the first blood. This time goes to the 5-man jungle invade gang from Synergy.
yeah, very well done there in that particular guy. They basically pulled off the exact same thing again as they did in the last game before. It actually worked out better for them this time because they managed to pick up a first blood, whereas before they only blew 2 flashes. Now they got 2 flashes and the first blood.
Interesting little bit of pathing there from the Syndra as she returned from that blue jungle, but didn't seem to be too worried about Sinjai's possible harassment as she wandered right past the turret there.
He's got no silence now. Like, why would he care? Like, why would she care? No silence on Talon. It's all good. It's all
Yeah.
good. Silence is such a big thing. It's ridiculous.
So down in the bottom lane, after both of those flashes got burnt, we've had Armonia and Yoshbek hanging about there and doing a little bit of a freeze, I suppose. Not really trying to get this very fast, aggressive push on because they are confident that they are going to be able to hit level 2 well in advance of their opponents. And there you go. They've just hit level 2. And Team Chaos's bottom lane hanging about underneath their turret, just waiting for the lane to push.
Yeah, pretty much there. It's in a good spot. They managed to pick up Dubspet there again, and he's just going to take a fair bit of harass. Whew,
Wow.
He might need to leave lane.
He's less than 150 at the moment, just from a single death sentence. So lovely little combo there. The top. What's going on here in the river? We've had the two junglers meet each other, get joined by the mid laners, and Ting is still sitting. He's going to stick around. I guess he went for that invade, trying to get the blue in reply.
Yeah, you put an early ward down there just to see if you could catch out Jungle Rumble before she had a chance to make her way around there. And it looks like he's going to look here and get a return kill, or try to get a return kill. He has the execution potential. So if he lands his Q right now, he's in a very good position to take this kill right now. Looks like he's managed to. Did he get the blue? No, he did not get it, but he did get the kill off in the end there. And looks like he's going to take an advantage back for Team Chaos.
Nicely done. Ends up with the double buff over there, and it's fresh and sparkly news. So 5 minutes of just enjoying the buffs for his little piece of risk, because that really was risky. He didn't have a huge amount of vision other than that ward that expired, but it was enough.
Yeah, it definitely was enough there in that regard. And it was very, very well played from him. He knew that the experience from the first buff that she took would have been shared between the laners as well, so she wouldn't have been able to hit level 3, so there wouldn't have been a level advantage for her, and he manages to come through a nice little advantage there in the jungle for himself.
Up at the top lane, we've got Numbers versus Gaza King, and Numbers just pushing up very, very far at the moment. Can quite comfortably do so as well because of that kill on the jungler. So doesn't seem too worried at this stage, but might be running into a bit of problems if he doesn't ward. And there you go, gets the ward down and goes right back to farming in that top lane and pushing that lane, forcing Jax, who has, I suppose he's not quite as strong as he gets. I don't want to say Jax has a weak early game, but he's just not the monster that he could be, and struggling right now to CS underneath the turret.
Yeah, basically, those nerfs that they hit to his armor is just he's very strong offensive wise now, but he's still he's weak when it comes to the defense, and because of how Fiora is pretty much she's to a degree a lane bully herself. Definitely up against Jax, maybe not against Renekton or Rumble, but in this situation, she is a lane bully right now, and Jax is definitely going to have a hard time in this early game.
Looking at the mid lane, Synergee versus Ragnar Rosano. We've got Syndra, as expected, kind of starting to leave Synergee behind in terms of CS. 39 to 25 at this stage has already, and that's including blue pilling and purchasing an extra Doran's ring and boots. So having a very, very strong time there in the mid lane.
Yeah, she probably would just forced it up to the tower. Talon maybe didn't have enough mana at the time, so she was able to free back. And
the junglers have found each other again, and Ting taps or just tags Jungle Rumble. Jungle Rumble uses the Q to dash away, so nothing's going to happen over there. Ting heading up to the top though, walks over a ward and is heading for Gaza King, who's kind of spotted things, does a nice little juke, then gets out of range of the Sonic Wave.
Yeah, just down on the bot lane now, there seems to be a little bit of contention happening. Your dad Chung has been hooked right now. Looks like he's trying to get away. Nice damage coming out from Rocky and Ammonia, and there's flash blown again by your dad Chung. So very well done there by Synergee, basically the force that happening. Then a nice little lantern for Rocky and Ammonia to get out. Yeah,
lovely little piece of aggressive play there, and keeping that flash down is just going to make the time when Vi manages to gank that much more easy. So of course Vi hasn't been able to gank just yet because of that loss of life at the blue buff. Top lane, we've got Ting paying a visit once again to the Jax, trying to keep the brother down.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the whole point of this. You need to keep that Jax away from farming right now. I mean, he's 20 farm below the Fiora. He's been forced back now. He seems to be picking up, rushing for a Triforce, which I don't really disagree with. I would have thought he'd maybe pick up, another Doran's Blade item just to give him a little bit of extra early game power and a little bit more sustain. But he feels that he might be good with just those two items now.
So down at the bottom lane, we've got our first blue pill. In fact, everybody from Synergee have blue pilled and headed on to go and do a bit of purchasing. And we'll see whether they come back into the lane with that new strength and take advantage of the spike. Meanwhile, Jungle Rumble looking for a little bit of an invade, and I'm not really sure. In fact, not an invade, taking a very, very long route around to the top lane, but is going to be just too late because Numbers is blue pilling.
Yeah, basically that was very smart by her to back off there. Although backing off right in front of the Jax is a little bit taunting and a bit risky to a degree. If Jax really wanted to, she could have probably stopped her from backing, and then that would have given enough time for Rumble in the jungle to actually like come through and cut her off. So let's just play a little bit more bait. But as you can see now, there's probably like that lack of experience starting to show through because these guys aren't that very high. I think they're around like silver, bronze, just sort of like popping through, and it's just still fair to that degree because all of them are around that league right now. But if it was anyone else, like probably gold higher, they'd be in a bush making sure that they couldn't be seen when they were backing away.
Yeah, because of course backing away in a bush would have meant that the Vi would have continued pathing all the way around into the mid lane, would have revealed himself in that in the top lane, would have revealed himself there in the top lane, and that kind of information is really critical for your team to have as to where the jungler is. Now he's returned and has decided to go in to exchange with Gaza King, who's decided to re-engage. In fact, then comes the ulti. This is a very big spike for numbers. Pops down the ignite and picks up the kill.
Yeah, this was what I mentioned earlier before that little break that we had. As we can see, there's a bit of a tumble happening in the mid lane right now.
Yeah, Ragnar Rosano flashes in, drops his ulti onto his opponent. Well, in fact, onto the Lee Sin. It's not over quite yet, though, because the death sentence comes in, the box gets dropped down, but Synergee decides to re-engage very aggressively, picks up the kill, but dies himself in return. He would have gotten away, but decided to go in for the aggressive option, pick up a kill, and sacrifice himself as a result.
Yeah, so it looks like here they're going to try and get some damage onto the mid turret now, see if they can get some more map pressure. Actually, they've decided to play safely and just back out. Seems to be a little bit of a scuffle happening right now for Requiem Ammonia. He seems to be in trouble trying to get those last extra hits from the Winter's Bite onto the Corn, but he's just going to get away now and throw a little bit more harass onto Dubstep.
What do you think about that decision up there by the Talon? So this is Synergee. He was away. They were backing off after his stealth, and he chose to re-engage. Do you think that was the best call to make?
Talon really needs gold to get going. Trading for one as an assassin is actually pretty decent, especially once he gets his enough item and gold, because that means when it gets later into the game, he'll be able to pick up a kill onto Requiem Ammonia. As long as he's got gold, that's the big thing. So he really needs to, even if he's trading 1-for-1, and he's giving up, a bit of map pressure, that's actually okay as a Talon in this situation, because he really needs to get himself into a position where he can one-shot Kog'Maw in that late game. Otherwise, he's not going to be very useful. Even if you make Syndra a bit stronger in that regard.
Yeah, I guess there's a double piece of risk there, because even though he gave that kill, it wasn't just that he gave the kill to Ragnar Rosano. Ragnar Rosano picked up a red buff as a result. So, I mean, auto-attack bullying isn't really Syndra's forte, but having that extra red buff tick for all of the auto-attacks is surely going to help him. Let's see if he actually uses it, though. So it doesn't actually, even though he gets the stun onto the Talon, doesn't follow up with an auto-attack and get the red buff tick.
Yeah, as we can see up in the top lane right now, there seems to be a little bit of a contention going on. Jungle Rumble's waiting out there to see what's happening. There's a ward down right now, so I'm interested to see what happens here. It looks like he's jumped onto him.
Yeah, so I don't really know why he's stuck around. Pops his ulti, but it's not going to be enough. Uses his flash to try and get away, but one Q from Jungle Rumble is all it's going to take. There it comes through, knocks him up and picks up the kill. So that's a nice kill and an assist. Jax getting the assist out of that will be very, very pleased.
Yeah, as you can see, it looks like, you go for it, man.
Yeah, things move on very, very quickly. Ting arrives again, once again eats an ulti. He might actually lose his life because the rotation from the bottom lane has come through. He jukes down using his safeguard, and now he is just running for his life. Who's going to come and help him? He's asking for help desperately. And at the moment, it's all just about the jukes.
Yeah, it's very well done there. It looks like he's going to go for the execute right now. It's been about 8 seconds afterwards, so that's what just little information for you guys out there. About 8 seconds out of combat means you will be executed by the tower. As long as you haven't been hit by anyone or touched in any way, or you haven't attacked anything afterwards, you're considered out of combat and you're free to be executed. So that way you're able to deny more experience and gold from the team if you're caught in a situation where you cannot live.
Of course, that rotation from the bottom lane of Synergee means that Dubstep and your dad, Chunj, were able to push the lane up and get some damage onto their turret and get themselves a little bit back. They've been bullied in this lane, Mendrix.
Yeah, pretty much. This gives them an opportunity to come back into it. And it's quite funny that they've been bullied in this lane. You know, Lucian is known as that mid lane bully. As you can see, it looks like they're coming through into the ultimate from the Brom right now. Looks like they're trying to pick up a lot of damage going onto Yoshi.
He's taking a huge amount of damage. The culling comes through, but there's just too much in the way of minions to prevent the culling getting through. And that they were waiting for that, Mendrix. As soon as the Thresh arrived, they were onto him, dropping the Glacial Fissure down.
Yeah, definitely. It was very well played by them as they come through, and I think there was just a little bit of miscommunication there by Team Synergee. As you can see, Vi arrived a bit late to the party, so it would have been a bit better if perhaps when that Lantern went out to pull Rocky and Ammonia in, also the Vi came rolling through as well, at which point that would have been a wasted ultimate via the scenes. As you can see, Syndra just picked up a kill onto Xin up there, and it looks like Fiora is also engaging onto Syndra right now. She's got no mana, the Ignite's going out, there's not much she can do, and nice shutdown picked up by Fiora.
Yeah, lovely bit of shutdown gold going on to Numbers, who wandered all the way down, actually pinged the Syndra, so signaled that he was coming down to pick up that kill, and now he has the red buff, so this must be like the longest living red buff in the history of red buffs.
It's all planned all along.
Where's it gone? It's gone from the Lee Sin, I think, onto
Lee Sin onto Talon, then Talon onto Syndra.
It must have gone to... No, it must have been... It was from Vi onto Talon.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Vi onto Talon, Talon onto
Vi
Syndra, and now onto the Fiora up at the top lane. And there's another engage going on. Is the red buff going to be enough, though? Not really quite. Gaza King has gotten himself going and is feeling pretty strong at this stage. They keep going at it, though. And this time, Numbers wisely pulls away. And I think when Riposte is up off of cooldown, he'll be prepared to take another hit. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, I'm just going to hit the backspace, head on over to the bottom lane, because we're going to have an engage down there as once again the two bot lanes go head on, head to head. This time the Vi is there, though, gets the knock up. Assault and Battery onto Dubstep, who gets taken down, picks up the kill there. Will it be a double kill, though, because we've got interference from the Talon, who's arrived, flashes out of the way to try and get there. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we've got to head on back to the top lane, because Fiora did a great job there, Mendrix, of baiting enough for the Lee Sin to come through and pick up Jax.
Yeah, pretty much there. As you can see, Gaza King's starting to come back into his the point where he's actually starting to get stronger. Really, I think after level 6 is when Jax can actually handle Fiora a bit better. But I mean, he's about, by the looks of it, about 20. Is it 24? And he's behind. But as you can see right now, it looks like they're going to be answering with a Dragon Peak. It looks like they managed to pick up onto I Am Shinjo right now. It looks like they've taken him down. Your Dodge Trunks also in a big, deeper trouble right now. And it looks like, 4 on 2, not much you can do there. And it looks like there's going to be a free dragon coming to the way of Team Synergee.
Hey, I think we're not quite synced. I'm at 16:08, 09, 10.
Okay, I am hitting 16 right now. Let's just see if I can sort this out.
Don't do anything. Are you still at, are you 16?
16, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, cool. We're in line again.
Beautiful. So did Lee Sin just hit a Q onto Syndra?
Yeah. So Ragnar Rosano is now blue pilling after taunting.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I didn't hit the backspace twice. I think you hit the backspace twice.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah, I think I did it because I thought you say back again.
Yeah, Numbers trying to pick up that shutdown again on Syndra. So it has arrived in the mid lane to support Talon, who's now pinging for him to get out, I think. So he's going to head on back to the top lane. While it was all happening down at the Dragon, Jax headed up to the top lane and took down the first turret.
Yeah, pretty much. Very well done by Jax. They're basically taking advantage of the fact that Fiora's been roaming a lot. And that's really not something that she should be doing. She should be there on her lane the entire time, just punishing Jax over and over again for taking that teleport while she has the Ignite.
So Gaza King rotates down to the mid lane now, just to soak up some of the mid lane experience. Is going to allow Fiora to start pushing. Now, Fiora can push really fast, especially with the Tiamat. And so Jax, well, he's going to have to be very careful. He might use his teleport, I suppose, to get back to his lane to prevent damage on his turret.
Right now, it seems to having Vi and Jax are heading up there right now, so she could be in a lot of trouble very quickly if she keeps on hanging around. And there is no ward coverage for her as well. She's completely blind as to what's happening.
Jax lurking in the river brush, but Numbers getting a little bit worried at this stage. Gets his riposte up, so reduces the damage that he takes, but was stunned. So Gaza King now just chasing at the moment, popped his ulti, and Fiora just walks away. Nicely done.
Yeah, I'm surprised he decided to initiate with the Counter
Oh,
Strike.
Ragnar Rosano is looking for a kill. Has found his opponent. Vi has followed up as well. Q's through the wall and picks up an assist there. Nicely done by Ragnar Rosano. A deep, deep incursion into the jungle.
Yeah, very well done there to get the stun and basically instantly react. Gave no chance for Numbers Lady to be able to attack. And as we can see, it looks like a bit of a scuff up in the mid and in the bot lane right now. Looks like bot lane's decided to walk off a little bit, and they've backed off to their tower right now. So it looks like Team Synergee is looking here to get further map control and take out this turret right now.
Syndra is doing a massive amount of damage. Has finished the Zhonya's already. Has a bit of cooldown reduction. What's that going to build into the Fiendish Codex?
I believe probably either a DFG, she can go for that, or she can even go into a Athene's Unholy Grail. She's actually 70 farm ahead of Talon right now, so she's 7-1.
Oh, we got a death
Doubly
sentence down onto Dubstep, and the box comes through and picks him off. Your dad Chunge is kind of hanging around underneath the turret, but it's only a matter of time. It needs 4 more hits, and it will be down. So really, he's kind of there to soak up experience and hope that he gets out in time to not eat another death sentence.
Yeah, there's a bit of a scuffle happening up now in the mid lane jungle, just to the left there. There was a Blade Waltz blown by Numbers Lady, as we can see there. Very nice Zhonya's popped by Ragnar Serrano to avoid all the majority of damage coming through there. The other 2 characters are fairly tanky with a bit of armor, so they'd be fine against the Blade Waltzing Fiora. So pretty much very well done there by Ragnar to use that particular Zhonya's Hourglass at that time. I didn't think he has that much mana either, and it looks like he's going to pick up the blue buff as well, just to make sure he can keep himself in lane and sustain further. Never mind, he's blue pilling with that blue buff on him.
Yeah, we had Requiem Harmonia get himself into a little bit of a difficult position there at the blue buff of his opponents, but able to get away nicely. Gazaking's going to find Ting in the jungle, forces the flash away. He hasn't used his Q just yet, or did he use his Q? He must have done, because he didn't.
I believe he used his Counter Strike and then jumped onto him with Q to try and get the stun.
Ah, well there you go. So it's basically we don't have 2 jungles right now. We have a jungle belonging to Synergee because they have great vision, firstly. And secondly, they keep rotating around and making use of that vision to try and find those picks. And even Mendrix, when they don't find the picks themselves, they're able to, whoops, missed a kill there in mid, onto the Talon.
Yeah, pretty much. It was very well done by Syndra there. Basically picked up the stun. She's got so much damage right now. She's so far ahead. You just basically with the Sorcerer Shoes and the Zhonya's and basically just blew her up after using the ultimate.
So even though the picks don't necessarily get kills in the jungle, they do enough damage to drive them away. Ragnar Rosano looking to pick up some sort of damage. He gets a double stun down. Dubstep is potentially in trouble. He pops his calling. A bit of a weird angle though, so it doesn't really get a lot of damage down onto any champions. And the push is now on to this this bottom lane secondary turret.
Yeah, so they're definitely controlling the map right now. As you can see, there is no towers to the 3 towers for Team Synergee. They're basically jumping all around Team.Chaos right now and taking advantage of everything they've got. As you can see, I'm looking at Talon right now. He seems to have a sort of the occult. I'm a bit skeptical about this. You kind of grab into that item if you're planning to snowball a lot, and really he's having a tough game. So that's kind of some wasted gold efficiency right there.
I mean, to be fair, he's probably still planning to slow.
Probably.
Nobody's planning. Nobody picks the talent. And I mean, oh, we've got an engage in the middle. The boxes come down. Fiora focusing on Yoshpik at this stage, and they might be able to get them down, but they're completely in the wrong kind of position. The Glacial Fissure comes down, but a nice flash from Yoshpik gets him out, and now the chase is back on. We've got a Sultan Battery coming down, picks up the Fiora, takes him down nicely. Oh no, he's still alive. He used his ulti, became untargetable. But unfortunately not enough. As soon as he becomes targetable again, Syndra cleans him up, and that is yet another kill, going down onto what is now a 9-1-1 Syndra.
Yeah, as you can see right now, they're just playing this game perfectly. Look at looks like they're forcing the ultimate out of the lease in a way. They're pretty scared of the damage that the Syndra can pull out. And as you can see, they're focusing on object these guys. As you can see, before in that little scuffle that we were having, the other players were kiting back, waiting, buying time for the rest of the teammates to take out that mid tower, and then as soon as they had that mid tower, straight back down, chase through, and then pick up the kills. Objectives over kills.
Yeah, very weird engage that was going on. I suppose Team Chaos thought that they'd got a pick on the Thresh, but man, very, very good play from Yoshpik there, waiting for the Glacial Fissure to come out and then flashing out of harm's way, and basically baiting the whole of Team Chaos into their own jungle, which, as I was pointing out before, actually isn't their jungle, it's Synergee's jungle as well.
Yeah, they've been pretty much taking every buff now. I don't think, the poor Lee Sin has managed to pick up a buff since the 15-minute mark. So it's definitely going the way of Team Synergy right now, and it's still possible for Team Chaos to make it to come back here. Like, they need a really, really good engage. We're talking a massive Blade Welts from Fiora, pretty much into a really good ultimate by Braum, and they still have the capability to pull off enough AoE damage to just basically press R down Team Synergy's team before they get too strong. But if Synergy have managed to pick up a Baron now, which I think they should look towards doing, as you can see, the pings are now going down for the Baron. They're going to try and clear out, gain some vision control, pick up an easy Baron, and pretty much they can just brute force their way through to victory.
Well, they're just clearing things out, doing things the methodical way, establishing vision around this jungle area, getting a pick onto Numbers, who is forced to flash away. So again, just getting away by the skin of his teeth, less than 200 HP, flashing away, and that is the cue for Synergy to have a Bazkabag for lunch.
Pretty much, yeah. They forced her away, and she's arguably the strongest player right now on the team of Team Chaos. Fantastic three-man stun there, basically just forcing them away, making them a bit more scared. Looks like they're not really doing too much damage to the Bazkabab though, so they wanted to start it. They kind of really need Requiem Ammonia there to start it up. He sort of throws a few hits on there, and Baron's like, get away from me, I'm the real Cogmore here. I'm the worm that can eat everything up. So they pretty much have to back away from the Bazkabab and see if they can it looks like they're trying to get a pick right now, but they're actually standing on a ward. So, there we go. There comes the sweeper out. So they should be okay now to try and pick up make a pick, but it looks like they need to sort of bait Baron a little bit harder right now. There is a massive wave down bottom, and probably once Lucian, and it looks like they've got 3 players showing themselves. That's going to be the cue to start Baron once they see that.
Yeah, I mean, this is a little bit of a misplay by Team Chaos. When you've got a big wave like that, you don't need to send 3 players to clear it. Just send 2 players. And just send 1 player. In fact, you just needed the Lucian to go and pick up the farm and get everybody else in position to try and contest this Baron. I think what we're going to have is Teng going in for a steal. It's his only hope, really.
Yeah, pretty much. And it looks like, Synergy is bullying away onto the Lee Sin right now. Looks he's come through.
He goes in, and the red team pick up the Baron. It's a steal by Talon. He's going to die as a result, but man, that was a great move there. Numbers also picks up a kill, but goes down in reply. So we've got a chase going on at the moment because Synergy is all very, very low, and even though they are 4 versus 2, a full-up Lucian with a Baron buff on it was trying to get the chase on and drove them away. So that has bought them a little bit of time, Hendrix.
Yeah, pretty much. They really needed that, and that's going to be very rare for the Lee Sin stills. I honestly thought that they should have probably put Syndra probably on defense, just in the on the top side. They have a Thresh Lantern to pull her out if she's in danger. So they kind of misplayed that. They probably thought they had more than enough brute power to just get in there, take the Baron, and get out. But unfortunately, you have to be very wary for those Baron steals by the Lee Sin because he's got to execute damage. He times his Q well. Boom, no worries. He'll be able to pick up with the smite.
So just again, a little bit of I think too much caution from Team Chaos. They had an opportunity after pulling that Baron buff. They should have known that the whole of Synergy were going to blue pill because they were so low, and I think they could have pushed down this mid turret, just gotten a little bit of global gold, try to claw back some of this 10,000 gold deficit that they have. Nevertheless, they're going to reset themselves now for a further defense and enjoy having Baron buff on 2 players. The Death Sentence comes through though, picks up Synergee. He's going to get monstered down. Jungle Rumble is the lottery winner, picks up that kill because he was in amongst the whole of his team, and that straight away sets up a lovely sieging situation onto this mid turret. Jungle Rumble going nice and deep at the moment, just zoning his opponents. Oh, double stun comes through. Dubstep gets himself flashed away, but he's not going to be able to participate in this defense as Synergy says, look, you stole the Vazbab from us, but that doesn't matter. We're going to take your base and start off by taking down this first inhib.
Yeah, if you just still, even with the the basket taken away from them, they still have an over 10k goal lead. And as was mentioned before, it would have been a lot more comfortable for them to have the basket. As you can see, more power going on through right now. Derry Touchtongue is in the thick of things. Shinjai having to run away. Looks like he's gonna fall, and it looks like they pick up Lucian as well. So that basket really did nothing for them at the end of the day.
Yeah, a nice little 4-for-1 as a result of their push onto the Nexus. Another death sentence goes down, and the box is out there, but unfortunately Synergee doesn't go down as a result. The rest of these teams focusing on the Nexus, and that is game 1 to Synergee.
Very, very methodical play in that regard there. They just played that really well, and they were able to pick up what they needed to. And at the end of the day, they had such a big goal advantage, they were just able to just push through and brute force their way in.
Yeah, nicely done. They would have been smarting after losing the Baron in in that situation, probably yelling at their jungler to try and pick up his game, Jungle Rumble. Although, who would have expected the talent to come through in that way? They were probably looking at what the Lee Sin was doing, and in the end, the opportunity lost wasn't too much of a big deal. Look at that score, 21-8-46. In reply, the Chaos boys only able to put together 7 kills for their 22 deaths. We've got to pick an MVP for this game. Mendrix?
Syndra. I mean, she basically came through, was able to take, I'm pretty sure mid towers, no, top tower was first to drop, but basically from the amount of kills she was able to pick up, and then from there she was going around, she snowballed the rest of bot lane. She was just a force to be reckoned with every time they tried to get onto her. She ended up pulling more kills in her favor. Definitely going to give this to Ragnar Rosano for the, even though I reckon for Ammonia didn't die, I mean, like, in all honesty, I just think he wasn't involved with it as much, whereas Ragnar's Rosano was just in there making sure everything was going well.
All right, no argument from me. Congratulations to Ragnar Rosano for picking up the first MVP of today's matches. That said, we'll just tuck him away in our back pocket because this is a best of 3, and we'll be looking to join game number 2 of Synergee versus Team.Chaos in just a moment. We'll keep the stream live, but we will be back in just a few minutes as soon as the lobby is set up and we head into Champ Select.